Hey players. So after an internal investigation, the Okaloosa County Sheriff announced that Eddie Duran, who fatally shot Airman Roger Fortson, has been fired from the Sheriff's Department. Let's talk about it. It was previously reported on May 3rd, Airman Roger Fortson was at his off-base apartment. Now, according to attorney Ben Crump, who has been hired to represent Roger's family, he was on a phone call with a female friend. At the same time, the apartment complex had called police because there was allegedly a disturbance coming from one of the apartments. Now, that apartment was identified as 1401, which is Roger Fortson's apartment. The deputy went up to the door and knocked several times. He did announce that he was a sheriff, but he was not standing in front of the peephole, so you can't see him. Roger opened the door and he had his firearm. It was at his side, and the police officer fatally shot him within seconds, several times. As soon as the door was open, he said, "Drop the weapon." He didn't even give him time to drop it. He shot him. The officer has been identified as Eddie Duran. He had only been with that police department for 11 months. According to the sheriff's office, the investigation confirmed that Mr. Fortson did not physically resist in any way, and the investigation concluded that Mr. Fortson did not point the weapon in the former deputy's direction. The objective facts of the administrative investigation concluded that Mr. Fortson did not make any hostile attacking movements, and therefore the former deputy's use of deadly force was not objectively reasonable under the policy. Now, no criminal charges have been filed at this time, but a Florida Department of Law Enforcement investigation is ongoing. Of course, the media has reached out to the former officer, Eddie Duran, but he did not return the phone call. Of course, here at the Black Red News, I send my condolences out to the family of Roger Fortson. He was buried on May 18th. Again, he was only 23 years old. In his own apartment, he legally owned his firearm, and if someone was aggressively knocking at my door, I would definitely have a weapon in my hand or something to protect myself. And he was in his own home. The officer didn't even give him an opportunity to see who he was so he could drop the weapon. I reported on this, and I actually showed that footage. It's so very sad. So the next step is to see if there's going to be criminal charges against that officer. Y'all put your thoughts in the comments. Again, I send my condolences out to Roger Fortson's family. This is absolutely horrific. Players, let me know what you think. This is WD1 for the Black Red News.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Lions Den with another news and commentary. I'm doing an update on, the Roger Fortson investigation. You heard what that situation is. So, the deputy who fatally shot and unalived Roger Fortson would not face criminal charges at this time. However, he was terminated from the sheriff's department. Excuse me. So here's my question. Basically it's already messed up as it is, and the story goes is that there's been a complaint that there was been a noise complaint, and it was costly a DV call, which wasn't the case. That Roger Fortson only has a little dog, and he was talking to his girlfriend on FaceTime. When the deputy, now you heard a story, when the deputy knocked at Roger's home, Roger's apartment, when he didn't even, when Roger looked at the peephole, nobody was there. So in his mind, he felt like, the deputy knocked on the door several times. Roger looked at the peephole, and so far he wasn't there either, right? So he finally, I think the final knock happened, that's when he finally, excuse me, that's when he finally opened the door, and that's when he shot him 6 times, unalive him. Now, basically, Benjamin Crump is now Fortson's family attorney, and basically they're planning on filing a lawsuit against the sheriff's department. Now, we're going to wait and see what are they going to do, if they're going to file criminal charges or not. Um, you know, to the family, it's still not enough. You know, to have him terminated from his job is still not enough. They want more justice. They want this man in handcuffs. They want this former deputy in handcuffs. And can you blame them? I mean, they lost their child, and right now we're still waiting. And on top of that, he was a military man. So we will wait and see what will happen. But at the same time, this is going to be a concern. But we're going to wait and see if they're going to file charges. But at the same time, I'm just letting you know, give you the update of what happens. So y'all let me know what you think about this in the comments.